In your conversation with Ken, which is fascinating, you talk about racism towards Asian Americans right now. And you just launched the All Americans campaign. Any thoughts on how that landed or why you did it?
I'm sure every Asian American in the country has received, at a minimum, dirty looks over the last number of days if you've been outside. And it's gone all the way up to assaults, beatings, getting cursed out. People giving you dirty looks and shying away from you, I think, at this point is routine. And I've experienced it. Republicans have actually come out and said that we're going to blame China for the virus. And in part because framing it as a foreign effort distracts from Trump's mishandling of the crisis and boosts his chances for re-election. But that also has the effect of increasing xenophobia, making the virus seem like a racialized disease as opposed to a natural phenomena. So if there's something I can do about it, I wanted to do something about it. And the All Americans campaign is just saying, look, we're all in this together. This virus knows no race. We should not let this tear us apart. We need to come together and say we're all Americans. We're all the same to this virus. And for the fall, we have to not let Trump distract us from the real issues. We lost 70 days where we could have been tracking patients and tracing contacts and building up the capacity of our healthcare system. And to distract from all that lost time, Trump saying China virus, Republicans are saying, oh, blame the Chinese government. I mean, this isn't like a targeted attack on the U.S. in that it's ripped through the entire world, essentially, at this point. And you have to compare the U.S. response to other countries' response. Like, why were we so far behind? Why are we number one in cases? So those are the questions. And racializing the virus is a distraction. It does throw Asian Americans under the bus. Racism towards Asians is going to be a problem for a long time in this country. And so I thought if there's something I can do to help, I wanted to help.
Andrew, the All Americans campaign got tons of cool people and celebrities to get behind it, from Megan Rapinoe to Dave Chappelle and JJ Redick, and who will be a guest on this podcast soon. What's it like reaching out to all those people? Is that like herding cats? How interested are they?
I know anyone I reached out to was into it because, they're like good people and like, yeah, racism sucks. And like, if I can play a small part in fighting it, they were glad to, except for that one person who will remain nameless. Nameless. That one jerk. I know who you are. You know who you are. No, I'm kidding. But I was really impressed and grateful and gratified because, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and John Leguizamo and Teri Hatcher and Sophia Bush and all these people. It's like, if you're a celebrity, you put your name on something, and there is some risk involved where, it's like the thing that came to mind for me, and I feel bad even referencing it, but it's like the Gal Gadot Imagine video, where I feel like the reaction to that was not uniformly positive. And so I really am grateful to everyone who decided to lend a hand to the All Americans campaign because, like you had to trust. And I hope that we lived up to that trust. It seems like everyone was very pleased with the first video. It got millions of views, even just on my channels. And I'm happy to say we're working on follow-ups with the NBA who want to work on an anti-racism campaign with us. So hopefully it'll be an effort that just keeps on growing.
So coming up, we've got Ken Jeong. He is a Duke grad, so I love him. He's a basketball fan. He's just a genuinely good guy, and coordinating this with him and getting to know on the campaign trail has been fun. He went from doctor to comedian to an actual very good comedian and celebrity. And Andrew, you got to know him pretty well on the trail, and your conversation, in my opinion, was wide-ranging and fun and fascinating.
Yeah, Ken's a great guy. We met on the trail, and he became a supporter, a member of the Yang Gang. Felt like I had a lot in common. Maybe that's flattering me. But he's a really thoughtful, deep thinking guy. I mean, behind like the comedy and like the TV and the rest of it, I'd say he's almost philosophical. And I really enjoyed sitting down with him. I enjoyed spending any time with Ken. He's just a really fun and awesome guy.
Yeah. And you guys do talk about The Masked Singer, which I will say this, I'm not one to watch those types of shows, but it was on in a hotel in Iowa a few times. And that show's amazing. It's low-key hilarious, and I was like bobbing along. I was into it. I was playing the game. So good for Ken.
Yeah, I think they took that from like another country. I don't know which one.
Did they?
So
we stole it.
Yeah.
That's classic. We stole it.